So one of those games that has always intrigued me, but I never got around to even starting it or looking into what it was about or what the gameplay entailed was Returnal.
Discovered xenotype technology on the corpse of a sentient. Scan is indicating potential for suit augmentation.
And now that I've finally gotten my chance to play the game, I'm very impressed at how good and fun this game really is.
Encountered a small life form. Seems docile.
Let's first start off with a quick plot summary. Disobeying orders, Astra Corporation explorer Celine Vassos attempts to land on the off-limits planet of Astropes to investigate what she dubs the White Shadow Signal, which someone seems familiar to her upon arrival. Celine's ship Helios suffers heavy damage and crash lands. Unable to contact Astra, Celine explores the planet and is shocked when she comes across corpses of herself. She learns that every time she dies, time loops back to the moment she crashed. Sending her back to her starting point. The planet seems to change with every loop, and Celine begins experiencing vivid visions. So, I didn't realize this game was basically Edge of Tomorrow, just in video game form. And quite frankly, it's one of the most interesting, intriguing concepts of Returnal. Second time I crash landed, I basically wound up dying not fairly quickly. I got a little bit far, and then all of a sudden I get killed by this giant, like, boss-like monster. And from there, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I basically, like, going into this game, I went in completely blind. I had no clue about the characters, about what the gameplay was like. And when all of a sudden I was resurrected and the world slightly changed, I started to realize, oh, okay, play it like Edge of Tomorrow, where you're learning and interesting new things, you're gaining new abilities, you know where things are at, and that's how you explore this game. So with every death comes consequences, and the consequences are you lose essentially all your, like, ammo and that. You still get your major upgrades to continue with, but the amount that the levels keep changing is fucking insane. Even the enemies themselves look very reminiscent of the same enemies from Edge of Tomorrow. So I would imagine this game, or the developers, were heavily influenced by the movie Edge of Tomorrow with Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it shows, and they build their own story around it, because I get some Metroid vibes to this game as well. The guns themselves, I've been playing for probably about 3-4 hours maybe. The guns themselves aren't anything crazy, anything like revolutionary.
Acquired a xenotype weapon, similar to our carbine technology.
But it's how you play, and it's the quick dash speed of Celine as you basically dash around the area, avoiding the enemies from trying to sneak up on you, from big giant bosses from shooting at you. You just have to kind of use your environment around you to beat the enemy. I keep thinking that I'm going to get bored of this game, that I'm just going to get frustrated with it because I don't know where I go from here. But every time I do, I wind up starting again and getting more into the story, getting doing a deep dive into the game itself and wanting to continue playing it. The soundtrack is great. I love the voice acting. The sound effects themselves are fantastic. The world itself, it seems fairly similar, but I think that's intentional, at least I think. The enemies have enough variety that it's not too crazy similar. But again, when you're constantly dying and then resurrecting yourself to try to get past that point where you died at previous, because now you know what's going to happen, that's part of the fun and charm of this game. Returnal has very high ratings, reviews, scores, and now I can see why. It's one of those weird games that when you play it, you're just like, oh, this seems, stupid, or it's probably gonna get boring fairly quickly. And then for some reason, the game just continues to surprise you because you're just like, what else is gonna change every time I die? Like, what around my environment is gonna all of a sudden change here? And you're trying to find this signal on the planet, and the map is laid out fairly similar to how a Metroid map would be laid out. And when you're going about these areas, you become stronger, you become faster, you just get more powerful with each and every single death. Returnal doesn't lack any interesting concepts, and the exploration and combat are what make me keep coming back for more, and as well as the soundtrack. That's the biggest thing that's definitely engaged me quite a bit. I want to see where this game goes. I want to see how it ends. I want to see what happens to Celine. I want to know what is the end game with this game. That's really what keeps me going, is that main thing. I want to know what happens at the end. It's one of those games that it may seem like under the radar, not a lot of people play it or not a lot of people talk about it, but it's one of those games that when you do, you don't forget it. Keep thinking to myself, if I had done this differently, then would I not have to go through this? Or if I had gone to this different spot, would all of a sudden when I die, would this change? It's a mind fuck. To put it pretty plainly and simply, it is complete mind fuck.
Scout log, Atropos. I have found a deceased Astra Scout here. Checking identification on helmet. It's...
But that is what makes Returnal so great. And I honestly, in my first impression with this game, I'm giving it a 4.25 out of 5. Mostly because, yes, the environments seem barely similar, as well as the enemies. Once you see them enough, you start to know their patterns. You start to know how they operate. But again, I think a lot of that is intentional. Even if it's not, it's a different game. It feels very different than anything out there right now as far as AAA games or even first-party titles, because this is a first-party exclusive to PlayStation. Or at least it was up until February of this past year when it was released on Steam. Either way, it's a great game. I highly recommend that you at least give it a try. I definitely will be going back to finishing Returnal and then giving my final stretch impression of the game, and I can't wait to see what the finish is. But go out there, check out Returnal. I believe it's available for free on PlayStation Plus currently. It's one of those games that I promise you, it will seem weird at first, but once you start to really dive into the experience, you'll enjoy it. We want to hear from you. Have you played Returnal? If you have, what did you enjoy the most about the game or the least about the game? Are you excited for the sequel to Edge of Tomorrow? And I only bring that up again because of similarities. Let us know in the comments down below, and also down below you'll find the description where me and my brother Rocky's all other socials are located, as well as a link to our other main channel, Smokin Sessions, where we do movie reviews, movie tier lists, movie watch-alongs, all sorts of, we even have a podcast starting, all sorts of fun, interesting, honest reviews, content, based around movies and cinema. So after this video, go ahead and check out the content over there, and then hit a subscribe if you enjoy it, and hit a subscribe here at Gaming Sessions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to turn on the bell to get notifications when our new video from Gaming Sessions drops, as well as thank you so much for your love and your continued support. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching and or listening to this video. I'm going to get back to finishing Returnal, and we will see you all in the next gaming session.
I spaced out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell or a chance just to open up a newer curve.